Hi guys, welcome to Mr. Ben's Wednesday Watts. I'm hot in here today. I just thought I'd talk to you a bit about VO2 max and ways to increase it. Obviously, as you know, we're all kind of predispositioned to have a certain VO2 dependent. You know, I'm no Chris Froome, I haven't got that high VO2. Despite all the training in the world, I will never have his VO2 max. I'm just not that gifted, unfortunately. But I can improve it. And I thought today, I'll just give you a few bits of training tips, especially for people. I'm in my 40s, my VO2 is dropping as it was when I was in my 20s. Sadly, it's one of those things, it's part of getting older, but there are ways to still maintain and still get some fitness. So one of the tips I'm going to pass on to is from my coaching body I'm a member of. We have our yearly annual coaching conference, and I think it must have been 2 or 3 years ago, we had one of the members who been to university, and one of his dissertations was looking at ways to improve the VO2. So this is very much lab-based, lactate testing, VO2 testing, etc. So the evidence they've found does show improvement. So I'm not just making this up out of a hat. It's a genuine way to improve your VO2, and also it suits me really well because it's much shorter intervals. Classically, if you look at the Hunter Allen Power Meter book, there's lots of variations, but one of them that springs to my mind is the classic VO2 efforts of 3, 4, 5, etc. up to 8 minutes, much longer efforts where you're working at 106 to 120% of your current FTP. They're hard sessions. Mentally, they're very, very challenging for me. I've not done any recently because I've been focused on other stuff, but anything 3 to 8 minutes is your classic VO2 type training. You know, classically, the 4-5 minute VO2 effort is your classic old school time trialling, and they do work. Now, when we had this seminar on the new type of training, it's not new, it's been around for a long time, but it was the evidence he tested, proved it delivered. So you've got your 30 seconds on, 15 seconds off. It's a little bit more complicated than that, but effectively you're training at your VO2 power, or thereabouts, for 30 seconds, coming off for 15 to recover and going back on. And that can be done in blocks of 5 minutes, 10 minutes for example, or there's nothing stopping you doing 8-minute blocks. And then you build up as you get more and more fit. You start off doing one set just to get used to it, and then you build it into a 60-minute session after a really good warm-up and a cool down. And the evidence found from that it does improve VO2. It's a good form, and for me as well, mentally, I'm much more focused to do 30 seconds on, 15 seconds off, repetitive, rather than doing a horrible 8-minute slog. Some people will switch around, they prefer to do long efforts, but for me, it's one that has worked as well for me on that. So remember, it's not about going 30 seconds full gas, that's a different energy system. It's your VO2 target. So if you've got a rough idea, there is a better way of doing it, but I haven't got a lab, I'm not a sports scientist. But if you look at your FTP, try and work out roughly what your VO2 would be, perhaps 106% of it to start with, and see if you can manage 30 seconds on, 15 off for a 5-minute block. If you're struggling to meet the power, then you're overcooking it, or if it's too easy, you just tweak it a little bit up to that 106 to 120%. So give it a try if you want to. If you've already got your own little way, then have a listen, see what you think, and I'll leave it down to you to conclude. Okay, take care guys, bye bye.